Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm here today to show you a really quick and easy card idea for creating a Christmas card. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you an alternate idea using the same layout. So this year when you make your Christmas cards, you can use this layout idea and several different stamp sets to get several different looking Christmas cards. I'm going to use the Merry Mistletoe stamp set. And I'm going to have my card base as Whisper White, and I'm going to add a layer of Garden Green to that in a few minutes, and then I'm going to add a layer of the Be Merry Designer Series paper. So this is where you can alter your Christmas card ideas by the Designer Series paper that you choose and the alternate layer underneath. Now, the next thing I want to do is take the Merry Christmas image from the Merry Mistletoe stamp set, and I want to ink it up in Garden Green. No, I'm going to ink it up in Cherry Cobbler, and I'm going to stamp it on a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to stamp it in the middle, because what I want to do then is I want to die cut it out. So I'll clean that in a little bit. And because this is a Christmas card, what I like to do is choose dies that are just a little bit step above, and by that I mean in design. And so I chose one of these Stitched Shapes framelits. There's the package. There's ovals and squares and circles, and they have a really cool stitched design around them. You'll see in a minute. So my sandwich is the magnetic platform, bottom standard cutting pad. I've got my stamped cardstock with the framelit on top, and then I'm going to put the top standard cutting pad on and hold it in place. And then I'm going to run it through. And then I'm going to do something next. So there is the image, and hopefully that you can see that stitched mark around it. Just makes it a little bit fancier, which is what I want for a Christmas card. Now I'm going to die cut again. This time I've got one of my layering oval framelits, and it's just a little bit bigger around than the one that I just die cut with the phrase on it. So this one is going to be a layer underneath, kind of like a frame. Okay, so I'm done with my big shot. So then I'm going to put this all together, and then I'm going to add one final detail to it, and then I'll show you a second idea. Okay, so there's my phrase layer. Having trouble picking that up. And then I'm going to put these all together. I like my card base to be Whisper White so that I have room inside to write maybe a little Christmas message or a little letter. If that doesn't matter to you, you can make your card base a solid and then just add a layer inside, just big enough for you to sign your name and perhaps stamp a phrase. Okay? So, when you're doing design consideration, I could adhere this on like that, but the background seems to be really busy, so I'm going to give you a little tip. Take just a scrap of leftover cardstock and use it like a strip of ribbon, or you could use ribbon if you had ribbon that corresponds with the colors in your cardstock, and lay that across the center. I'm just going to hold it up a little bit. Oh, it needs a bit of trimming. I didn't cut it quite right. Just a minute, I'll just snip off a piece. Lay it across the front kind of like a belt across the front. And then when I attach my layer, it will sort of help pull it out to the front so that the background paper is not so visible or distracting, I guess. So now I'm going to attach my layer to the front, and then, okay, so there we go. And then in this stamp set, there's this little tree image. So before the video began, I used my garden green ink and I stamped 2 of them, and then I used my paper snips to cut them out. I didn't think you would want to sit here and watch me stamp and cut out. I'm sure you get the idea. And I'm going to add one of these fabulous mini Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of each tree. I'm going to peel off the tail, and then I'm going to add a tree to each side of the phrase. And that way it'll pull all of the elements together. Like so. Now, if I wanted to add even a further detail, I could do a little star at the top of each tree, but really my focus is on the Merry Christmas phrase, not on the trees. The trees just complement the paper behind it. Now let me show you the same layout, but a different idea. For this one, I did it exactly the same. This is the Merry Little Christmas Designer Series paper. I used cherry cobbler, and then I had the black. And then what I added were 2 of the little cherry cobbler, I think they're enamel shapes is what they're called. And that finishes it off. So very similar layout idea, but 2 different Christmas cards. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used to make this card and all the measurements, please go to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. I'll be back next week with more Christmas ideas. And if you like the projects that I create and share with you, make sure you subscribe to my blog. And my newsletters. I have a free newsletter that comes out each week with projects ideas that you won't see anywhere else. I'm Terry, I'm Nuts About Stamping. I hope you stamp something beautiful today too, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.